The large hall was silent. Only the sound of heavy boots and the faint hum of alien lights filled the air. Humans stood in a long line, waiting for their names to be called. The alien council towered on a high platform, their glowing robes shimmering with strange energy. Every eye was watching, and every breath felt heavy. When the announcement came, it was sharp and clear. The council leader spoke in a deep voice. Every human must be assigned a wife. His words echoed across the chamber. Humans gasped. Whispers ran through the hall. Nobody knew if this was a cruel game or a command they could not refuse. One human, a young man named Daniel, stood frozen. His heart pounded as the council's eyes fell on him. A name was called, not his, but hers. From the shadows, she stepped forward, a petite alien girl. Her silver hair shimmered under the blue lights, her eyes glowing like stars. She walked with soft steps, but her presence was powerful. The hall fell even more silent as she stopped in front of him. She tilted her head, her lips curved into a smile. Then she whispered, her voice soft but sharp enough to cut through the silence. "You've been assigned a wife, human, and I'm yours." Daniel's world cracked in that moment. His thoughts spun. He had fought wars, crossed broken cities, and seen death, but nothing prepared him for this. An alien, young, beautiful, delicate, calling herself his wife. He looked around, searching for answers, but all he saw were alien eyes watching, some curious, some hostile. The petite alien girl did not move. She waited, her hands folded in front of her. Her skin seemed to glow faintly, as if carrying energy under the surface. The council remained silent, as if testing his reaction. Daniel opened his mouth, but no words came. The weight of her whisper pressed down on him. "Why me?" he thought. "Why her?" His chest tightened. The hall seemed to close in. His legs wanted to run, but he knew he could not. The girl leaned closer, her voice like a secret. "Do not fear. Human, I chose this." Her words struck him harder than the command itself. She chose this? Out of all the humans, out of all the rules, she chose him. The crowd of humans behind him shifted nervously. Some looked jealous, others afraid. Daniel saw another human in the corner paired with a tall alien woman. That human's face was pale, almost broken. Another was already arguing, shaking his head, but alien guards pulled him away. Daniel swallowed. His voice finally came, rough and uncertain. "Why?" he whispered back, but she only smiled, as if she knew something he did not. The council leader raised his staff. The sound of energy crackled in the air. "It is done," he declared. The chamber vibrated with his words. Daniel felt the ground shake beneath his boots. He wanted to scream that it was not done, but the force of the command silenced him. The girl took his hand gently. Her touch was warm, not cold as he expected. She squeezed once, as if promising something without words. His heart beat faster. His mind screamed to resist, but something in her eyes calmed him. As they walked out of the chamber, Daniel noticed other pairs. Some humans walked with fear, some were dragged by guards, some looked as if they were broken already, but his alien wife walked with pride, leading him forward as if she had already won. The city outside was alive with alien lights. Towers stretched into the sky, glowing with colors he had never seen on Earth. Strange flying creatures moved between buildings. The streets were filled with whispers, eyes following every human with their new wives. Daniel felt the weight of 100 stares. He wanted to fight, to shout, but his hand was still locked in hers. He looked down at the petite alien girl. She met his gaze, her eyes bright and unshaken. Then she whispered again, soft enough only for him. "Trust me, human, this is only the beginning." The words cut through his fear, leaving behind only questions. He had no answers, no plan, only the strange truth. He had been assigned a wife, and she was an alien. The suspense burned inside him. What had he just been dragged into? And why did her smile feel more dangerous than her silence? The streets outside the alien council chamber stretched wide and glowing. Towers rose into the air, wrapped in streams of light that pulsed like living veins. Daniel walked beside the petite alien girl, his assigned wife, his mind struggling to keep up with what had just happened. His heart wanted to run, but her hand gripped his tightly, as if she would not let go. Everywhere he looked, alien faces turned toward them, some curious, some jealous, some filled with cold suspicion. Daniel noticed how every human leaving the chamber walked with an alien partner. Some were pulled roughly, some dragged their feet. Others walked stiffly with silent terror in their eyes. It was a parade of bonds no human had asked for. The petite alien girl led him forward with calm steps. Her silver hair shimmered under the street lights, and her glowing eyes flicked from side to side. Watching, judging, Daniel could feel that she was not just proud. She was alert, as if protecting him from dangers he could not yet see. Finally, she spoke, her voice low. "Do not show fear. Human, fear makes you weak here." He glanced at her, frustrated. "You tell me not to fear, but I have no idea what is happening." She tilted her head, her smile returning. "Then listen, and you will understand." They reached a tall gate carved with alien symbols. It opened slowly, revealing a courtyard with black stone floors and strange glowing plants. She pulled him inside. The air was warmer here, heavy with a sweet, metallic smell. The walls seemed to hum softly, alive with energy. "This is my house," she said simply. "And now, it is yours too." Daniel stopped at the doorway, his voice rough. "I didn't choose this." She turned, her silver eyes locking with his. "No human chose. That is the rule. But I chose you." The words echoed in his chest. He frowned. "Why me?" She did not answer at first, only walked deeper into the chamber-like hall. "You will see," she finally whispered. The inside of her home was unlike anything Daniel had seen. A circular hall stretched wide, glowing lines carved into the stone floor. Floating lights drifted above like fireflies, shifting colors with every movement. In the center was a table of crystal, pulsing softly as though alive. She guided him to sit. Her movements were graceful, almost ceremonial. She poured him a drink from a flask that shimmered blue. "Drink," she said. He hesitated, sniffing it. It smelled faintly of fruit and smoke. Reluctantly, he took a sip. It was warm, running through him like fire, clearing his fogged thoughts. Her smile widened as she watched. "Better," she whispered. Daniel put the cup down hard. "No, not better. Tell me why. Tell me what this is. Tell me what you want from me." His voice cracked with anger. For the first time, her eyes softened. She leaned closer. "The council wants control. They think humans are rare jewels. They want to own you, keep you close. That is why they assign wives." He froze at her words. "So you're part of that control." Her head shook quickly. "No, I am different. I volunteered. I asked for you." His chest tightened. "Why?" he demanded. Her gaze did not break. "Because humans are not weak. You fight, you endure, and you carry something we do not. Something my people fear, something they want to cage." Daniel leaned back, her words hitting deeper than he wanted to admit. She stood, circling the table slowly. "I am here not to trap you, but to protect you." He scoffed. "Protect me? From what?" She stopped, her back to him. "From them," she said coldly. "From the others who will come for you." Her voice had no softness now, only steel. Daniel looked at her, his pulse quickening. He wanted to call her a liar, but the way her shoulders tensed told him she believed every word. The sound of footsteps outside the chamber suddenly echoed, heavy, sharp, like armored boots. Daniel stiffened. She lifted her head, her silver hair falling over one glowing eye. "They are already watching us," she whispered. His heart thumped. He had thought he was just a man dragged into a strange ritual, but now it felt like a trap much larger than himself. He looked at her again, this petite alien who called herself his wife. Her eyes burned with quiet defiance, and for the first time, he wondered if she was more dangerous to the council than to him. "Stay close to me, human," she said softly, "because soon, they will test if you are worth keeping alive." Her words chilled him, but her grip on his hand was steady. Daniel realized he was caught in something bigger than marriage, bigger than laws. He was now part of a secret war he did not understand, and the only ally he had was the alien who claimed to be his wife. The night inside the alien city was different from Earth. The sky shimmered with 3 moons, their pale light casting silver shadows over the streets. From the balcony of her crystal home, Daniel looked out and saw the strange beauty of the alien world. Yet even in its beauty, he felt trapped, like a bird inside a cage. The petite alien wife stood behind him, silent for a long moment. Her presence was calm, but Daniel could feel the weight of her gaze, Finally, she spoke, her voice soft. You wonder why? You wonder why I chose you. Daniel turned to her, his jaw tight. Yes, I wonder. You could have chosen anyone. Why me? Why not someone stronger, richer, or willing? She stepped closer, the silver in her eyes glowing faintly in the moonlight. Because you are different, human. You carry something your people do not even see in themselves. Her words confused him. He crossed his arms. Different how? I am no leader, no hero. I am just a man pulled into your laws, she smiled faintly. That is exactly why. You think you are nothing special, but your kind always rises when pushed to the edge. You survive, you fight, you bend, but do not break. Daniel's heart pounded. Her words touched something inside him he had tried to bury, memories of battles, of hunger, of days when he thought he would not see another sunrise. Yet somehow he survived. She turned away, moving to a glowing orb fixed into the wall. With a touch of her hand, the orb brightened, showing a shifting image. Humans in chains, guarded by tall, alien figures. Daniel stepped forward, his stomach sinking. What is this? He demanded. This, she said coldly, is the Council's true plan. They give you wives, yes, but not for love, not for care. They want control, to bind you, to make sure you never rise. Humans are dangerous when left free, so they give you chains wrapped in smiles. Daniel clenched his fists. So you are one of them, she spun, her eyes sharp. No, I am not. That is why I volunteered. That is why I came forward when others did not, because I know what they fear, and I want to see it grow. Her words shocked him. He stared at her, searching for a lie, but all he saw was fire in her silver eyes. You are saying you want me to fight them? He whispered. She shook her head slowly. Not yet. Human, for now. You must live, survive, learn. Only then can you fight. Daniel backed away, the truth pressing heavy in his chest. Why risk yourself? Why stand against your own people? She lowered her head for the first time, her voice trembling. Because I am not like them. I was born smaller, weaker, overlooked. They called me fragile. They thought I was nothing. But when I saw humans, I saw the same strength inside you. I saw a reflection of myself. Her confession hung between them like a blade. Daniel felt his anger soften, but he could not let go of his mistrust. So you tied me to you, just to prove yourself. She stepped closer, her face inches from his. No, I tied you to me, because together we are stronger than apart. Before he could answer, a sudden sound echoed from outside, the deep clang of metal striking stone. Daniel rushed to the balcony. Below, he saw alien guards moving in the streets, their armor shining under the moons. They stopped at each human house, watching, recording. Some dragged humans into the open, forcing them to stand beside their alien wives. Daniel's pulse raced. They are hunting us, he muttered. She joined him at the balcony, her face grim. No, not hunting. Testing. The Council wants to see which humans will obey and which will resist. Those who resist, vanish. The words sent a chill through him. He gripped the railing hard. His eyes turned to her. And what about me? What if I resist? Her lips curved into a small, dangerous smile. Then I will hide you. Human, I will fight for you. Even if it means betraying my own blood. Daniel stared at her, his chest burning with questions, fear, and something else he could not name. She was petite, delicate, almost fragile, but there was a storm inside her that could shatter walls. He realized then that she was not his chain. She might be his weapon. As the guards moved closer to their street, she grabbed his hand firmly. Her voice was steady, almost fearless. Do not break. Human, tonight you will see how far they will go, and you will see how far I will go to protect what I chose. Daniel swallowed hard. His doubts were still heavy, but his heart no longer screamed to run. For the first time, he wondered if fate had given him not a wife, but an ally, one that the Council never wanted him to have. And in the silence of that alien night, with the guards drawing near and the city holding its breath, Daniel felt the chains around him twist into something new. Not prison, but purpose. He did not trust her fully. Not yet, but deep inside, he felt the spark of something dangerous, something the Council feared, something called hope. The sound of armored boots grew louder, echoing through the glowing streets. Daniel stood by the balcony railing, his chest tight, his hands curling into fists. The petite alien wife stood beside him, calm but sharp, her silver eyes tracking the movement of the guards. "They are coming here," Daniel whispered. His voice was rough, filled with unease. She nodded once, her face unreadable. "Yes, they will test us now." The heavy gate of her house opened with a sharp hiss. 3 alien guards stepped inside, their tall forms covered in black armor that shimmered with blue veins of light. Their helmets hid their faces, but Daniel could feel their cold eyes behind the glass. "Human," one of them said in a metallic tone, "step forward." Daniel froze. His wife placed a hand on his arm, her grip firm. "Do not show fear," she whispered. "Fear is weakness to them." He stepped forward slowly, every muscle tense. The guards looked him up and down as if he were an object to be measured. One of them smirked beneath the mask, his voice dripping with disdain. "Fragile creature. This one will not last." The words burned Daniel's chest. He clenched his teeth. His instinct screamed to fight back, to lash out. But he remembered her words. Fear was weakness. He forced his breathing to slow. The guards circled him. One shoved him slightly, testing his balance. Daniel stumbled, but caught himself quickly. The smirk deepened. "See? Weak." Before Daniel could speak, his alien wife stepped between them. Her voice rang sharp. "Do not touch what belongs to me." The guard stopped, surprised by her boldness. One tilted his helmet. "You dare speak so?" She lifted her chin, her silver eyes glowing faintly. "Yes, I dare. He is mine by the council's decree, and I will defend him with my life." Daniel blinked. Her words struck deep inside him. She was small compared to the armored guards, yet she stood as if she were taller than them. Her hand rested on his shoulder, a silent claim and a silent shield. The guard stepped closer, towering over her. "Careful, little one. Defiance will cost you more than him." She did not flinch, her voice was steady. "Then let it cost me. But you will not lay a hand on him again." A heavy silence filled the chamber. Daniel felt his heart pounding in his ears. He wanted to speak, but something told him to stay silent. He watched her stand, unshaken, fearless. Finally, the lead guard barked a laugh. "Very well, little bride, protect your fragile human, but the council is watching, and they will decide if he is worth keeping." They turned and left as suddenly as they had entered, the gate hissing closed behind them. The sound of their boots faded, leaving only silence in the glowing chamber. Daniel exhaled sharply, his body finally relaxing. He turned to her. "Why did you do that? You could have been punished, even killed." She looked at him, her smile faint but unyielding. "Because you are mine, human, and I will not let them break you." Her words were not soft. They carried a strange fire, one Daniel did not understand. He stared at her, trying to read her, but she gave nothing away except that fierce determination in her eyes. That night, Daniel could not sleep. He lay awake on the strange crystal bed, the alien lights glowing softly around him. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the guards, the way they looked at him like a toy ready to be discarded. But stronger than that was the image of her, small, defiant, standing in front of giants, claiming him as hers. When dawn came, the city stirred again, the streets filled with voices. Some alien women whispered about the humans, laughing cruelly. Others looked at Daniel with envy. Some humans passed by, heads lowered, their eyes hollow. Daniel walked beside her through the markets, feeling the weight of every stare. He heard whispers. Why her human walks free? Why does she protect him? She risks the council. He leaned close to her, his voice low. They hate me. She shook her head. No, they fear you. Fear is worse than hate. It means you are dangerous to them. The day grew tense when another alien couple approached. A tall alien male sneered at Daniel. Your human is nothing. He should be crawling, not walking. You shame us by protecting him. Daniel tensed, ready for a fight. But his wife's hand pressed lightly against his arm. She stepped forward, her voice cutting. My human stands, because he has strength you will never understand. If that shames you, then perhaps you are weaker than him. The alien male's face darkened, but he said nothing more. He turned away in silence, dragging his human with him. Daniel's chest swelled with conflicting emotions. He felt pride, confusion, anger, and something new he could not name. She walked on as if nothing had happened, her silver hair catching the sun. As the day ended, Daniel realized something dangerous. It was not just him the council would test, it was her too. Every step they took together painted a target on their backs. But for the first time, he did not feel alone. He felt like part of something larger. And as he watched her small figure walk proudly beside him, Daniel could not shake the thought. This petite alien was not his cage. She might be his shield, and perhaps the only reason he would survive what was coming. The next evening, the alien city seemed quieter, but Daniel could feel the tension in the air. The streets were still glowing with their strange lights, but the whispers had grown louder. Everywhere they walked, eyes followed them, some filled with curiosity, others with contempt. The weight of it pressed on him like a shadow that never moved away. Inside her crystal home, Daniel sat at the glowing table, his fists clenched against the surface. His petite alien wife stood across from him, her silver eyes calm but watchful. Finally, Daniel's voice broke the silence, rough and heavy. "Tell me the truth. What is this really about? Why are they forcing humans into these pairings? What are they planning?" She studied him for a moment, then raised her hand. The orb on the wall glowed again, shifting into moving images. Daniel saw humans standing in rows, each one beside an alien partner, but their eyes were dull, lifeless, as if their will had been drained away. "The council believes humans are dangerous," she began softly. "You are few in number but powerful in spirit. You are unpredictable. You resist chains even when they are made of gold. They fear that if left alone, humans will rise again, stronger than before." Daniel leaned forward, anger tightening his chest. "So they give us wives to control us," she nodded slowly. "Yes, but it is more than control. It is ownership. By binding you to us, they believe they can tame your hearts. If your loyalty belongs to your alien wife, then it will no longer belong to your people. That is their plan. A human divided is a human who cannot fight." Daniel's hands shook. He slammed the table. "So you are here to break me, to turn me into their puppet?" Her eyes flashed, and her voice sharpened. "No, I am here because I chose differently. I did not come to break you. I came to keep you whole." Her words hung heavy in the room. Daniel stared at her, struggling to believe. His voice was quieter now. "Why risk this? Why stand against your own counsel?" She stepped closer, her small frame casting a long shadow in the glowing light. "Because I have seen what my people cannot. I have seen the fire in humans. You endure storms that would crush us. You fight battles even when hope is gone. I chose you because I want to protect that fire, not extinguish it." Her hand reached for his, and though Daniel hesitated, he let her touch linger. Her warmth spread through him, softening his anger, yet suspicion remained. "You risk everything for me. But what do you gain?" he asked. She lowered her head, her voice a whisper. "Freedom. If you rise, I rise with you. If you are caged, then I am nothing." Before Daniel could answer, a low hum rattled through the house. The orb on the wall flared red. She stiffened. "They are watching us now." The walls seemed alive with energy, flickering shadows stretching across the chamber. Daniel felt a chill crawl down his spine. "Then they heard everything." She nodded slowly, her silver eyes steady. "Yes, and now they will test us harder." Outside, the sound of horns echoed through the city. Voices rose in the streets, and the heavy march of soldiers shook the ground. Daniel rushed to the window. His stomach twisted as he saw groups of humans being pulled into the square, alien guards towering over them, forcing them to kneel. His wife came beside him, her face calm but sharp. "This is what happens to those who resist," she said. Her voice was not cold but heavy with sorrow. Daniel swallowed hard, rage rising inside him. "We are not animals. We are not slaves." She turned to him quickly, gripping his arm. "Then you must be smart. Human. If you fight too soon, they will kill you. You must wait. You must survive until the time is right." Daniel's breath shook. He wanted to storm into the streets, to tear the guards away from his people. But her grip held him still, her voice pressed against his anger like a blade against stone. "If you fall tonight, you fall alone. But if you wait, if you trust me, then you will rise with more than just your own strength." Her eyes burned with defiance, and Daniel realized she was not asking for patience. She was demanding it. He stared at her, torn between fury and trust. She was small, delicate, but she stood taller than the council in that moment. The horns outside faded, the streets grew quieter, but the weight of fear remained. Daniel stepped back from the window, his chest heavy, his voice was low, almost a whisper. Then what do we do? Her silver eyes met his, unwavering. We prepare, human, we endure, we keep the fire hidden until it is strong enough to burn their walls down. That is how we win. Her words carved deep into him. Daniel's heart pounded with a dangerous mix of fear and hope. He realized then that she was more than just assigned to him. She was a shield, a partner, and maybe something even greater. And as the night stretched long, Daniel understood the truth. He was no longer just a man trapped in an alien law. He was part of a plan far greater, a plan whispered by a petite alien who risked everything to keep his fire alive, a plan that would either save them both or destroy them completely. The dawn rose with a crimson glow, painting the alien city in shades of fire. Daniel woke to the sound of heavy drums echoing through the streets. Each strike rattled the crystal walls of the house. He sat up quickly, his pulse racing. His petite alien wife stood by the doorway, already dressed in her flowing dark robe. Her silver eyes watched him carefully. "It is time," she said softly. Daniel frowned. "Time for what?" Her voice carried no hesitation. "The council has called for a trial. They will test if you are loyal, if you are worth keeping alive." The words sank into him like ice. Daniel stood, his fists clenched. "And if I fail?" She did not blink. "Then they will take you, and you will not return." The drums grew louder, soldiers filled the streets, calling humans from their homes. Alien wives pulled their humans into the open, some with pride, some with fear. Daniel followed her through the gates. His chest tightened as he saw the crowd gathering in the massive square. The council platform towered above, cloaked in blinding light. Rows of armored guards lined the edges. Hundreds of humans stood below, each one with an alien beside them. The silence of fear hung heavy. Daniel felt every eye on him as they walked forward. Whispers filled the air. "That is the one, the human she protects. Will he break today?" At the center of the square, the council leader raised his staff. His voice boomed like thunder. "Today we test loyalty. Humans must choose. Do they accept the bond given to them, or do they reject the council's gift?" A hush fell. Daniel's stomach twisted. The leader's eyes burned into him. "Step forward, human." Daniel swallowed hard. His wife's hand pressed against his back gently. Guiding him, he walked to the platform, his steps heavy. The leader's voice struck again. "Do you accept this wife assigned to you? Do you accept her as yours under our law?" The crowd leaned in, waiting. Daniel's throat was dry. He turned his head. His petite alien wife stood tall despite her size. Her silver eyes locked on him. Her lips parted, and she whispered so softly only he could hear, "Choose me, and I will fight for you." His heart pounded. His mind screamed with doubt. If he refused, he would be dragged away. If he accepted, he bound himself to her forever. Was this survival or surrender? The council leader's voice roared again. "Answer, human." Daniel closed his eyes. His memories surged. Humans dragged in chains. Humans beaten in the streets. Hollow eyes of those who had already given up. But he also remembered her, standing against armored guards, defying her own people, claiming him as hers with no fear. His eyes opened. His voice rang loud across the square. "I accept her." Gasps spread through the crowd. The council leader raised his brow. "And why?" Daniel's chest burned as he shouted. "Because she is more than your law. She is more than your chain. She is my shield. She is my choice, not yours." The square erupted in whispers. The council guards stiffened. The leader's eyes narrowed with anger. But Daniel's wife stepped forward, her voice cutting through the noise. "You see, even when bound, humans will not bow. That is why I chose him." Her defiance shocked the council. Silence struck again, heavy and sharp. The leader's staff struck the ground, sending sparks of light across the square. "Then so be it. Human, you live, but your loyalty is not yet proven. Tomorrow, your bond will be tested by fire." The crowd murmured. Daniel's heart dropped. He turned quickly to her, whispering harshly, "What does that mean?" Her silver eyes glowed, her lips curling into a dangerous smile. "It means they will try to break us, but we will not break." As they walked back through the crowd, Daniel felt dozens of eyes on him. Some humans looked inspired, their shoulders straighter, others shook their heads. Fearing he had doomed them all, the aliens whispered with suspicion. When they reached the safety of her home, Daniel collapsed against the wall, his breath ragged. I spoke too much. I challenged them. They will kill us. She knelt beside him, her small hand resting on his chest, steady and warm. No. Human, you gave them what they fear most. You gave them hope, and hope cannot be killed so easily. Her words settled deep inside him. He stared at her, realizing that the bond between them was no longer just an order of the council. It was something more dangerous, something real. And as the city prepared for the trial of fire, Daniel understood the truth. He was not just surviving anymore. He was fighting, not alone, but with her, and together they had already shaken the foundations of the council. The day of the trial came with a sky the color of burning steel. Clouds swirled above the alien city, as if the heavens themselves waited for judgment. Daniel stood in the center of the grand arena, the ground beneath his boots glowing with strange runes. Around him, thousands of aliens filled the stands, their voices a storm of whispers. Above, the council sat on a high platform, their faces hidden in shadow. Beside Daniel stood his petite alien wife, her silver eyes calm but sharp. She looked small compared to the arena's vastness, yet she carried herself with unshaken pride. She leaned close, her voice a whisper. Remember, human, this is not just their trial. It is ours. The council leader raised his staff, his voice booming like thunder. Human Daniel, today you will prove loyalty. You will prove if you are worthy to remain. You will face the fire of truth. Choose your fate now. The ground before Daniel split open, revealing a pit of burning light. Flames roared upward, not of fire but of pure energy. The air shimmered with heat. Daniel's chest tightened. He felt the pull of fear clawing at him. The leader's voice rang again. Step into the fire alone, and you prove loyalty to yourself. Step with your wife, and you prove loyalty to her. Refuse the fire, and you will die. A hush fell over the arena. Daniel's heart pounded. He turned to her. She held his gaze, her eyes glowing brighter than the flames. Do not fear, human, she whispered. We walk together, or not at all. He looked back at the council, then at the pit of fire. He knew this was no simple test. It was meant to break them, to show that no human could stand unshaken. But deep inside, he felt the spark she had given him, the spark the council feared. Daniel took her hand, his voice loud. If I must walk into fire, I will not walk alone. Gasps swept through the crowd. The council leader slammed his staff, then stepped forward. Together they walked toward the pit. The flames roared higher, heat searing their skin. Daniel gritted his teeth, holding her hand tighter. Every step felt like walking against death itself, but she did not tremble. When their feet touched the glowing edge, the flames surged, wrapping around them like a storm. Daniel cried out, expecting pain, but instead felt warmth, like sunlight pouring into his bones. The flames did not burn, they revealed. In the fire's glow, visions flashed before him. Humans chained, humans kneeling, but then humans rising, breaking their bonds, fighting with unyielding strength. He saw himself standing not alone, but with her beside him, facing armies, facing worlds. He gasped, and when he looked at her, he saw the truth. Her silver eyes blazed like stars, and her voice rang through the flames. I am no mere bride, human. I am heir to the council's power, and I defy them. Her words shattered the silence. The arena roared with shock. The council rose in anger, but the flames bent around the two of them, shielding them. The fire of truth had not destroyed them. It had revealed their bond. Daniel raised his voice, carried by the flames. You sought to chain me, but you gave me strength. You tried to divide me, but you gave me unity. I am not yours to command. I am human, and I choose her. The flames exploded upward, blinding the arena. When the light faded, Daniel and his wife stood unharmed, hand in hand. The runes beneath them glowed brighter, as if the fire itself had chosen them. The council leader's voice cracked with fury. This cannot be. No human survives the fire. But the crowd below whispered in awe, their voices rising. The human lives, the fire accepts him. He is chosen. Daniel turned to the council, his voice firm. You wanted loyalty. You have it. But it is not loyalty to your chains, it is loyalty to her, and to the fire that cannot be broken. The petite alien wife stepped forward, her voice ringing like steel. From this day, you will fear what you tried to tame, you will fear humans, and you will fear me, for we are stronger together than you ever imagined. The arena shook with the roar of voices, some cheered, some shouted in anger, the council's power trembled, and Daniel realized the truth. The test meant to break him had instead lit a fire the council could never control. As they walked out of the arena, the city watching in stunned silence, Daniel felt her hand in his, steady and warm. He looked at her, whispering, "So this is the beginning." She smiled, her silver eyes glowing with triumph. "Yes, human, and the galaxy will never be the same again."